my whole.
Okay.
Oh, it did record it. Okay. So
Good
now we're
morning.
gonna
Good
go
morning.
live. Ready, Steve? Go
Mm.
like 3, 2, 1. We live. Hi, next level transformation people. How are you doing?
Good
And
morning.
today we have amazing Stephen Hopson here, all the way from Tasmania, Australia.
Tasmania. Yeah.
Tasmania. Steve is very, very, very welcome here. I'm so excited. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. It's early morning here. Not so early, but I'm in the middle of a coffee, so I'm great. Thank
And
you.
it's Saturday. You're already ahead. You have the future. Tell us, what's the future like?
Yes. Oh, it's cold here. It gets
It's
a bit
cold.
cool now in Tassie. Yeah, yeah. For anyone
Yeah.
listening, if you know where it is, it's down the southern and eastern tip of Australia. It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah,
And
amazing, Steve.
yeah.
Steve, would you like just to touch who you are? We know where you're from and what you do.
Sure, sure. Okay, guys, I'm in my 70th year. I've just said that to Ingrid, so I've been around the block a little bit. What to touch on what I'm doing now, I'm a specialist in subconscious programming, and that's been it's a big part of my life and for a number of years. And how I'll touch on how that came about in a minute, but essentially, I am focusing on to help people with alcohol problems, and that because that touches my heart. That was sort of important for me. But I'm a practitioner of subconscious programming. During my research, and I studied under some great minds of Bruce Lipton and the late Bob Proctors and Rob Williams and those people. And over the years, I recognized a gap, a missing piece, if you like, in subconscious programming that's out there, and without being critical, but your hypnotherapy and those type of methods, if you like, there was a gap. There was something critical missing, and the missing piece or the missing part was this: the practices at the moment, they focus just on installing new programs, which is fine, but that doesn't solve the issues. And what I recognize and the lens I look out of with the subconscious, it's like our hard drive. And your beliefs or your belief programs at a subconscious level are your windows. They're your programs. They're your software. And if you've got a program on your computer that's not giving you what you want, or if you've got a virus, you've got to get rid of it. You've got to uninstall it. Well, the same goes for us as human beings. And if you're trying to go north in life and you've got a program that's going south, you ain't going north, because the subconscious as a processor is 40 million bits of information a second, and the conscious mind is 40 bits of information a second. So this came about over time. I'm trying to compress it into a few minutes for you guys, but for me, when I developed it, I developed a three-step process that sorts this out. It actually identifies the program that you need to get rid of, or you want to get rid of, and this can affect any areas of our life: money, health, relationships. Your life experience is actually dictated by whatever beliefs programs we hold at a subconscious level, and because that affects everything. So what I did, I developed this three-step process, and I was deliriously excited about it. Well, this is how we function. And I looked at myself in the mirror and said, "Okay, Steve. I mean, it's nothing matters till it's personal, right?" So I was my first customer with this, and as I said, alcohol was my thing. I mean, I drank since I was a kid. Not out there causing any problem, but just at home every night. And as I went through my life, as the stress got worse, the alcohol got more. So I thought, okay, wrote myself the program. I do it on an audio file. I'm in a specific format language for the subconscious. And it's simple. You go to sleep. You put a headband on or these whatever earbuds you want. I do the audio file, go to sleep, press play, and you listen to the I put a bit of music on, makes it a bit easier, but you listen to the program. And the reason for that is when we fall asleep, we enter into what's called theta brainwave activity for about 90 minutes. And without getting into the science of that, that's the communication pathway that you need to address when you want to communicate or interact with your subconscious mind. So that's why I do it that way. So what I did for myself, I did that. I strapped in, put the headband on, went to sleep. This is quite a long time ago now. And I haven't had a drink since. Not at all. And the reason we're chatting, the thing with this, and this is the reason I'm here, is there's no conscious willpower. There's no effort. Now, I'm not, throwing a flag up there saying, but if anyone's got a problem with alcohol anywhere near what I had, in other words, they're trying to fix things in their life or improve their life, but the alcohol is a bit of a hook, the way, you wake up and really at 50% of yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to get rid of it because it's your friend, isn't it? It's how you cope. But the point is, it's holding you back. And the reason for that is most of us with a heartbeat have got programs in relation to alcohol reasonably similar, but we all start drinking at various ages. I was a young guy, but I've done a lot of testing on this, and all people have the same result. Various men, women, different ages. But whenever we start to drink alcohol, we do it at different ages for different reasons. But mostly it's like to be like your friends, to be popular. You might be shy, have a few drinks, all of a sudden you're the life of the party. Or you might be later in life, or you might be depressed, or you might be going through hard times, so you drink. But we all drink to make ourselves feel better at some level. And that works, doesn't it? For a short time, you're happy out. The thing is then what happens, you might, be hungover the next day or some problem, but you go back for more. And then you keep going back for more, and you keep going back for more. And what that does at the scientific level, physics level, is that forms and installs a subconscious belief program in relationship to alcohol. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's the program you're running. So you don't realize that it's a subconscious program that's running your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your behavior. That's why we can't stop drinking at a conscious level. I mean, you can. I know there's people out there, God bless them, that got signs up saying I'm sober for 3 years and 6 months, sweat's pouring off their brow because it's hard yakka. It's exhausting. I mean, I had so many day ones I've lost count. I know, so at a conscious, that's why it's so difficult. But getting back to this process, if you like, that I've developed, it addresses or it identifies the program we just talked about, and when you go to sleep, it literally communicates with the subconscious and instructs it, and it uninstalls it, so it's gone, and you actually install what you do want, right? And it's profound. It's not like, oh my God, I've got to count days. It's gone. Because the relationship's gone. I mean, when I drive past a hotel, I don't go, oh my God. And there's no for or against. It's just there's no relationship. So I'm obviously passionate about this, and I could rave on about this all night long, but I'll have to sort of shrink it up a little bit. That's what I'm doing now, and opening up that program to the world, because as I said, it was directed for me. So I know it's not, when you come from a place of knowing rather than believing, there's a big difference between knowing something, you embody it. Yeah. So everyone that's done it so far, and as I said, I've run through men, women, different ages, they're all exactly the same reaction, and it's an overnight thing. So the program I'm doing, the program I'm doing is 7 days, 1 hour a day, and And if anyone is interested to chat with me, I'm more than happy to chat with you. And if in that there's no absolutely no charge at all if they don't get exactly the result that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because yeah. It's
This
that
is
profound.
amazing. So
It
for
is.
those, yeah, and it's only 7 days, and literally, it's the what you are
Mm,
saying.
mm.
If someone follows your guidance, your teachings for 7 days, they don't want to drink any alcohol after 7 days.
Probably after 4 days, 5 days, but yeah, exactly. Because the first couple of days, I'll just talk about the science of it properly, so people go,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I get it." So it's because it's when you look at the science of it, um, it's wow, okay. I mean, when we drive a car, or drive a motor car, if anyone's, and we all have, you drive a car, all of a sudden you
Yeah.
pull in somewhere, oh my God, I haven't looked at the road for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. How did I get here? That's your subconscious. And
Yeah.
when you slow down a little bit and you realize in life that you do things and you don't realize what you're doing, all you see is the end result, and
Mm.
that's good, or it's not so good. The thing is, it's all driven by our subconscious programs. That's how we function. So if you're trying to do something in your life, trying to make change, first step, number one, bang, you've got to make sure your subconscious programs are going the way you want to go. Because
Mm.
if they're not, you're just in the ring fighting against yourself, and you're not going to win that fight because of the processor of the sub. I mean, it runs all your inside of your body, everything, but it runs your outside as well. So when you realize that, then you can start to go, okay, I want to improve that there in my life, my money or my health or my relationships, but they're slow burn. They don't happen overnight. I know there's plenty of people on social media say, do this for 10 minutes a day and you wake up a millionaire. Doesn't happen.
Mm.
But this is essential if you want to go, as I said, north. All you do is you get your train tracks of your subconscious to go north, and
Mm.
that will support you in that direction, etc. But with alcohol and food, sugar, I've got a program for food as well, but I haven't got, I'm not. It's the same thing. Um, it's what we put in our mouth. It works straight away, right? So
Wow.
the yeah, so that would give people, oh my God, this that actually they'll know it in themselves it works, and therefore if they're trying to change other areas of their life, then they'll kind of go, oh yeah, I'll hang in there because that just takes a bit. It's like weeding the garden, so to speak.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That
So
is
that's what I'm
amazing.
doing. That's it. Yeah. So I mean, if we've got more time, I can
We
talk a little bit
do.
about how I got here.
Please. Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
absolutely do. Let's go. Let's dive in. How did this happen? How did you start it all this journey? It's so interesting.
A life in 5 minutes. I grew up in the 60s. That was a wild time in Australia, and that could be for a whole other conversation. But and because there was no rules, so funny. There was no rules, no seatbelts. There's no rules in the 60s. It was wild, especially in Australia. Uh, so in my 20s, I landed on my feet, Ingrid. When I was young man, I made a lot of money and um, considerable amount of money. In my 30s, I lost it all. Bang, because it was more luck than judgment in my 20s, and I was still wet behind the ears. And in my 30s, I lost everything, and I found myself in Sydney and late 30s, and literally on the street, and my marriage collapsed, so I was divorced. And yeah, that was an interesting experience. I mean, when you're going through a hard time, it's almost impossible to go, yeah, this is good for me. But the thing is, any adversity, if you can look at it and look for the positives in it, or look for somehow or other what it's there for, that helps you to get through it. But that period of time in my life, that made me that led me on my spiritual path because I realized through that going, okay, righto. Well, if I'm going to enter into a relationship, I've got to learn how to love myself fully
Mm.
first. Okay. And that sort of moved me in. So I found myself hanging onto a dead tree on Sydney Harbour on the edge, and I yelled out, okay, who am I? What's this all about? And that started that journey. And it's obviously for all you guys listening, as you know, when you're on the spiritual path, there's no getting off, which is awesome. But it's not necessarily a smooth ride, is it? But so
Mm.
I went along that path, and I diligently tried for years to improve my life, like we've just been talking about. Meditation, intense meditation. I meditated with some brilliant people in the world, did the Deepak Chopras and Ian Gall, as I've used to meditate, hours, and positive thinking and till I was blue in the face, mantras till I was blue in the face,
Wow.
and all the law of attraction techniques and all that. But it none of it really worked for me. I'm not saying it's all great and it's all necessary. You need to be positive in your life,
Yes.
but it didn't work for me. As I went through my life, what that happened, and then at 50, when I was 50, just after 50 actually, I was diagnosed with cancer, and a gentleman in a white coat and a stethoscope looked at me and said, "Well, Mr. Hopson, you've got between 6 and 12 months to live."
Mm. Oh,
That, yeah, I mean, it was a jelly-legged experience. I'm still here, so I survived. And but at the time, uh, all I wanted to do was, you know, get through that myself. And so I dove, deep into the natural
mm.
ways, and that taught me a hell of a lot. That whole experience, and about life, about health, about from a physical, not just physical, but on every level. One of my key takeaways from that, and how I got one of my physicality area reasons for being able to get through that, was I learned and I discovered and learned a lot about alkalinity.
Mm.
Yeah, and acidosis and hydration and so forth. So yeah, but that moved me, and that, because I was diving so deep into those areas, that moved me onto that subconscious, the path of the subconscious, because the other areas hadn't really worked, what I've been trying in my life. And by the way, all the time, Ingrid, along the way, alcohol was in my pocket, right? uh, as I said, you don't really want, you don't. And so when I was moving into the subconscious realm world, it wasn't to rid myself of alcohol. It was, okay, yeah, got to get through this, and which I did, and yeah. So that was kind of my move into the subconscious world. And as I said a little bit earlier, that was so I learned about, I've got the science background, the science of it all through some great minds, but having if you like, an energy, because I studied energetic medicine, and I went right into Tibetan Buddhism, so I had
Yeah.
an energy sort of call it spiritual understanding as well. So that moved me. That gives me sort of two, and that brought that together, and that helped me tremendously with really understanding what the subconscious is about at all levels, not just at a science level, but as an energetic level of
Yeah.
how it functions. Because your beliefs, your programs, when you look deeper into that, it's code, because we're electromagnetic. That's how we function as humans.
Mm. Wow.
Mm. So
That is,
that gives you a bit of an overview.
yeah, this is amazing. Do you know, Steve, what else I want you to touch a little bit, if you can?
Yeah. Uh,
You told me your age, and I think my
yeah.
jaw just dropped.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that
How
as a compliment. It's hmm.
how do you do that? Can you share with us, please?
Well, I look, it's a combo, isn't it? I think it's um it's a combination of what you do with yourself on a daily basis, and programming's got a lot to do with it. It's got a lot to do with everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I said, when I went through the cancer nearly 20 years ago now,
Yeah.
that taught me a hell of a lot. I mean, your hydration is, what we put in our mouth, it's obviously very important.
Yeah.
But just touching on that is what you put in your mouth is due to, is dictated by your subconscious program. So I mean, I've obviously reprogrammed myself for everything, you know,
Yeah.
in my life, and it's exciting. Every night I go to bed and I put on. I'm playing a program of some sort for whatever it might be. Um, I mean, it's not just getting up early every morning. Getting up, at
Yeah.
I get up very early in the morning. I get up, I go meditate, I go work out, and I program that. I program myself to do that at a
Mhm.
subconscious level. So it's not like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's, you get up sometimes, yeah, but you can program yourself in anything. So if you've got a situation in your life that you're trying to, I've moved off the age thing because it's kind of
Mm.
like it is what it is. I mean, um, yeah, but I guess I'm reflecting a lot to do with what your programming, what your programs are. And programming is such a fascinating world because it's generational, and this see it's passed down from parents to children, from parents to children. So it's no one's fault as such. It's at a conscious level. You don't realize these things,
Yeah.
and conscious parenting is a big thing for me, and that I want to um, hopefully help with, because you don't realize people, parents, you're talking to your children, they're in that age, in that 0 to 7 bracket. That's when we take on most of our programs between the, and I don't know whether I spoke about that, but when we take on subconscious programs, they're at specific points in our life. Most of them are between the last trimester of pregnancy and around 7, for all of us, everyone with a heartbeat. And the reason for that is that at that young age, we're all in the theta brainwave activity.
Mm.
Okay, full time. So everything is observation absorbed. It goes in. There's no analysis. Mum and dad doing this, or friends doing that, and that. And that's how we. That's and when you've got a subconscious program that's in, it's hardwired. It's in for life. So if you learn how to walk at 2, you're using the same program at a 80 or 102, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's, and the other is repetition, of course. You learn how to play a
Yeah.
musical instrument, or learn a language, or drive a car. It's repetition, but that's a lot slower process. But that relates to alcohol. That's installed by repetition. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's yeah. So over to you a little bit, Ingrid.
Yeah, no, it's just so literally you do get up very early in the morning, you meditate,
Yeah.
you do your workouts,
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
you you
Yeah, I
eat
do. Yeah.
healthy and you program your mind.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I was brought up on chocolate. Here you go, guys. My mum and dad met at Cadbury's. Can you imagine? Yeah, I was brought up on Cadbury's Dairy Milk. And so my whole life was sugar. And I come from an era where that was just it. Sugar, white
Yeah.
bread, like so. And so during my life, I've been a chocoholic. In my life, I loved it, as well as so it's a bad it's a dangerous combination. If you've
Uh-huh.
got the booze going on and you've got chocolate and sugar and stuff coming in, you add a bit of fear to that, and that's how you get cancer, by the way. That's you got fear mixed with acidosis. That's how you get it. That's how you get sick. That's how you get disease.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I was brought up in chocolate. Gosh, I'd open up. Every school holidays, I worked at the sweet factory. It was like, yeah, what is that Willy Wonka thing? Yeah. So so one of the programs I did, of course, for myself was on food. Um, understanding, because that's a whole other little sort of touch of a subject. But when we're children, we're often given sweets as rewards, or you're a good boy or you're a good girl, or you
Yeah.
do that. Food's a really interesting one, or we're made eat the food at the table. You must eat all your food. So food and sugar, they're different programs, but they're more related to when we were younger for a lot of people.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But you reprogram for that. I've got obviously a series of questioning and a process, but you find we're able to identify the exact program for you, for instance, as you were brought
Yeah.
up. Okay, what happened to you in relationship to food? So something's going on in your life that you want to change, right? Stop putting sugar in your mouth, or,
Yeah.
whatever. Or the question you need to ask is quite simple, but it's important. You say, okay, what program must I be running at a subconscious level for this to happen, for me to do this, for me to
Mm.
keep doing this, or whatever it is? For me to keep sticking chocolate in my mouth unconsciously, what program am I running? Or to keep, you know, eating the, which, at a conscious level, well, you don't want to, you shouldn't, but you do, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And you can't not do it. That's the thing, because your subconscious program's driving it. It's bizarre, but it's
Mhm.
how we work as functional human beings. And
Yeah.
it's so exciting when you get that, when you realize how, oh wow, so that's how we function that's the engine room, that's your hard drive. So then that allows you to go, okay, well, how do I drive? Because one of the reasons we're here, I have a theory, and everything's opinion, isn't it? For goodness sake. But my opinion in life is we're here primarily for three main reasons as exist as human beings. Would you like to know what they are?
Oh, please.
Okay. Number one, step one, you've got to work out who you are or what you are, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's number one. For me, that's number one.
For me, yeah, as well. Yeah.
The second one is how you function, how it works, how, I mean, we're all getting to the point. A lot of people now, we create our own existence, we create our own life, we're creators, which we are. How does it work? How? And now
Mm.
the subconscious answers that question, right? So if you know who you are or what you are, and you learn how to drive your life, the content becomes a bit secondary. Don't get me wrong. It's, whether you got a Maserati or a Mud Hut, it doesn't really matter. Don't get me wrong.
Mm.
Don't mind the
Yeah.
Maserati, but it's how that's the important thing. It's not what. Who you are, how you work, how you drive in your life, how you can direct your life properly. And the third reason, which I think is the big one, is that we're all here really to expand our bandwidth of
Mhm.
self-awareness.
Yeah.
You can digest that one a bit, but
Yeah.
but once you sort of, I mean, and it's almost common sense, isn't it? We're non-physical beings. We're infinite, unique. Those two words really made me pull my finger out in life. Because back in the 90s, Ingrid, I was, oh my God, yep, we're all one. Yeah, we're all connected, which we are. We are. At some unimaginable level, we are all one. But you know what?
Yeah.
We'll never get there. That's the ingenuity of, if you like, God. And I use the word God, not in a religious sense, but because we are all unique, infinite, indestructible, non-physical beings having this finite physical human being experience that we call physical reality. So if you can look at your life through the lens of your non-physical self, then it's game on. Then it starts to get interesting, right? Because the whole confusion about not knowing who the dickens you are, and I think that's so funny. I sometimes crack myself up because there's 7 billion of us walking around on the planet, and who are you? I've got no idea. No idea. So if you don't know who you are, really, and you go through this life and you finish, you're over, and you haven't explored that, come back again, have another go. You come back again, have another go. You come back again, have another go. Because, you talk about learning lessons in life. Guess what? Guess what the lessons are? The lessons are your subconscious belief programs that you've got to get rid of. Think about that. You with
Yeah.
me? We come
Yeah.
into this world, with a theme. The main if reason for the theme is to expand our bandwidth of self-awareness, to have it in our toolkit as a soul or energy field, non-physical, whatever label you want to put on it, because that enables us to perceive more of life, more of yourself, more of ourself on any galaxy, on any dimension, on any level. So we can only perceive what we're capable of perceiving due to the level of, if you like, lessons we've learned. And so if
Mm,
you come into a life and you find yourself with adversity, that's actually an opportunity that you are giving yourself to find and move through that particular, weed the garden on your way through. Right? But when you're looking at it like that, okay, things start to take on a whole different sort of picture. And adversity then becomes opportunity, even though it's very difficult, might be at the time, whatever it might be. But you've got to, yeah. So consciously, it's impossible to do this. You bounce around all the time. But once you know who you are and how you drive, that increases your frequency to then be able to, increase your area of your level, I should say, of self-awareness in life.
yeah. Oh, Steve, that is just amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that. That
Oh,
is
thank
so
you for listening.
good.
That's my opinion. And for those people listening, if they resonate, if they agree, great. For people that don't, great. It's because that's your journey. This is your production.
Yeah, guys.
This is my production.
And
It's
Steve,
everything's a real opinion.
I like to ask this question. I'm not letting you
Yeah.
go yet.
Hang on. Have a coffee. Yeah.
So
Go
I
on.
like to ask this question, please.
Mm.
The next level to you, the next level transformation, what are the first
Yeah.
thoughts? What do you think? What is it? Like the first thoughts that you receive when you hear the next level transformation, what is it to you?
Sure. Thank you. I mean, it's a group of people. I'll use the term like-minded, but but on a similar level, if you like, a similar frequency in their life
Yeah.
path that are water finds its own level, doesn't it? That you're looking to group together in a sense to add to each other, to learn, to give and receive, and in so doing, helping you to grow, helping you to increase your frequency, helping you to know more about yourself. It's all about finding out more about you.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, this group, you and all of us, that's what it's for. It's for all of us. We're all finding more about ourselves because that's all it's about. It's all about you.
Yeah. And Steve, we have beautiful comments coming. a
Ah,
thing.
oh,
Someone is saying, I think Isha is saying, I do resonate 100% with what you are
ah,
saying. So
good.
that's the
Lovely.
comment. And loving it all, what you are sharing. How beautiful. So, I Steve,
Okay,
before we're gonna go, would you like just
sure.
to remind people how can they find you? Of course, you if it's okay
Sure.
to share your links in the comments, that would be great.
Sure.
If you could share
Sure.
your the website or whatever your contact details, that please do. But just a reminder, how can you help people and how can they find you?
Well, if you want to chat about anything, I'm here. If you're struggling in any area of your life, I'm more than happy to have a chat with you. That's a given.
Yeah.
You can contact me through my website, which is a long one. It's advancedsubconsciousprogramming.com.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably the easiest way is through the group, I guess, or through my Facebook profile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so just get in touch. So you can
Absolutely.
um, email me or go through the website. And there's an email there, so you can either email me or um,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, from a product point of view, I've got this program which is the 7 day, which I've explained. But this is that particular one is purely on alcohol. So hey, if anyone was any me's out there that find themselves struggling with alcohol, it's understandable. I get it. Um, if you want to have a chat, more than happy. But I'm also um, 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 as I said, I mean, gosh, I could keep talking, but the things in my life that I've found of value, of benefit, of really were a lot around health, a lot around, and that worked for me, of course. That doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody, but that
Mm,
whole area of alkalinity, hydration, and understanding that is a big one too, which may help anyone that's
yeah.
listening or in the group in one way,
Yeah.
shape, or form.
And that's why you look so young, because you keep your alkalinity, your hydration, your exercise, your meditation, your subconscious, everything,
And
together.
I don't, yeah, and I don't eat any more Cadbury's chocolate.
And no more
I
calories,
know.
chocolate.
I just nothing, and it's not like you have to try. That's the bizarre thing about it.
You don't
It's not
want it
like
at
I walk
all.
around going, "Well, I'm not gonna eat chocolate today, or I'm not going to have sugar, or whatever." You just
Yeah.
don't do it.
You just don't
It's
want it.
automatic. No, it's not. No, it's not a matter of want it or don't want it. It's automatic. Yeah, you
Mm.
see, you don't realize the little things you do every day, but it's all subconscious driven. It's not conscious
Yeah.
driven. This conversation we're having, it's not conscious driven. It's all because of the multiplicity of subconscious programs we have in our hard drive.
Yeah.
So you don't think about it, it just happens like life. You don't really think about it. You just go, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
like it or I don't like it. You just see the end result. Yeah, so it's fascinating.
It is fascinating, guys.
Yeah,
Steve is just amazing. So if you have any questions directly to Steve, just contact him directly and he's
yeah.
gonna be
Please
posting,
do.
yeah, he's gonna be posting links in the comments so you can check it out and contact him via email, or you can ask comments, put a comment here if you like. So it's up to you. And Steve, that was just, such a privilege to have you here in this
Mm.
community. I
Thank
personally
you.
learned so
Thank you.
much listening
Thank you.
to you.
Thank you.
It's just
Yeah.
beautiful. So thank you so much for being here, Steve. I appreciate you.
Ah,
And
thank you, Ingrid, and thanks to everyone who's listening, and love you, and God bless you all, and
love you.
let's do it. Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. Guys, thank you so much for listening. And big love to Steve for being here this early morning,
And
Saturday, Australian morning. Tanzania, pronounce it again for me, Steve. Where you from?
Tasmania,
Tasmania. Tasmania.
Tasmania,
It's an island.
Tasmania.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tasmania.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Steve,
yeah.
God, please save you. Thank you so much. And guys, Thank you
All right,
so much.
guys. Okay. See you. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
guys, you just stay for 1 sec, please. I'll stop this live.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that now. And let's see